Welcome to Shaping Science, a collection of videos from the voices that are shaping science today. I'm Lucy Lawrence from Technology Networks, and today we're joined by Stuart Greenhill from Aston University Institute of Health and Neurodevelopment. Today we'll explore the Knowledge Transfer Programme, otherwise known as the KTP, and how to bridge the gap between academia and industry. So, without any further ado, let's get into the science. Hi Stuart, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. So, firstly, can you explain what the Knowledge Transfer Programme is and why it's so important for bridging the gap between academia and industry?
Yep, so the KTP is a UK government scheme. It's been running in various guises for about 50 years now. It's a long old thing. It used to be gone by a few different names, but its whole idea is to create what we call knowledge transfer partnerships. And that takes the industry needs that are identified by businesses and organisations up and down the country and across the world in some respects, with UK universities and the academic and technical expertise that's contained within there. And what happens is that we will hire an associate or a couple of associates whose full-time job is being a pivot between the skills that we have as academics and the knowledge that we have and the needs of our business partners in order to make their lives easier and make their businesses more effective.
And so, what are the biggest challenges when trying to transfer academic research into real world industry applications?
It's having that interface layer. We all speak in our separate languages, and what we find is that if we are particularly focused on a quite narrow academic area, it can be difficult to communicate what we know to a non-specialist without both of us getting quite frustrated. And that's where the KTP is really good, because we've got a sort of full-time translator, someone that's embedded with both teams, and their entire development process is getting that layer of translation between the needs of the business and the drive of the business and what that business needs to extract from the academic team in terms of their knowledge, in terms of their technical expertise, in order to make it work for both halves of the party.
I love it. And so, what advice would you give to early career researchers or students looking to collaborate with industry?
I think the advice I'd give is to not be shy. All of us tend to sort of hide our light under a bushel, regardless of sort of what area we're in. You don't want to kind of upset anybody. You don't want to just email someone out the blue and say, "Hello, I'm me." But there's nothing wrong with knocking on people's doors virtually and just getting yourself out there and just asking questions. The worst that can happen is that you're told no. And especially in things like research careers, we're told no all the time. It's like being an actor or a musician. We go and audition for a particular gig, and most of the time we're told it's not for you, try again next week, whatever. And so getting used to that, just putting yourself out there, and maybe it'll work, maybe or not, sets you up really well for a research career and an academic career. But it also will lead to unexpected results. It'll lead to you getting to places that you might never have thought before. So just get yourself out there and don't be shy.
Brilliant advice. So, from that, how do you think the KTP model should shape the future of neuroscience and healthcare innovation?
I think we're at the point where it's difficult to see how we can just rely on public funding for lots of things in the future. Lots of countries over the world are having quite a difficult time balancing the books, keeping things going. And so by taking a sort of business focused approach and taking a sort of needs-based approach as well, where there's a particular client business who might have a problem and a load of solution providers who have got all these great ideas but never talk to anybody because they never go outside the university. By hooking those people up with each other, one, we can turbocharge research and innovation by adding extra funding to it and by adding extra connections to it. But two, we can add value to the business sector outside the universities by showing them what we can do. Academics love solving problems. And all we need is pointed at a problem that we can go and solve. And this is a scheme that really does match up the kind of problem havers with the solution providers.
And then to conclude our chat, could you explain the process of joining the programme, and do you have any tips for successful application?
So it tends to be a sort of marriage between a business and a UK university. Now, most UK universities who would participate in the scheme have a dedicated team. Now, if you're sitting there as an academic, you might not know who that person is. So go and find them, basically. Usually they are a dedicated expert in their field. Usually they are very, very good at what they do. And they'll hook you up with an advisor. The KTP system is full of dedicated KTP advisors who have come from a business background usually and will sit with you and help you negotiate the funding and the process and keep you on track and stop you from getting too dreamy and academic about the whole thing. Usually what will happen is once you've talked to your university funding manager or whoever, they'll say, well, yeah, go and talk to your business contacts and we'll go from there. And you've just got to kind of talk to your friends in industry and see what they're after. Don't try and force a project on them because that's never going to work for anybody. But usually they'll mention in the passing that they'd love to do this or they'd love to do that, or they've got a particular product or a particular need that they're sort of stuck with. And you can either say, yeah, I can help you with that, or you might know somebody who can help you better. Do you know what I mean? So you don't necessarily have to provide all the solutions yourself, but as long as you see yourself as a kind of conduit between things, usually it works out better for everybody involved.
Perfect. Well, thank you ever so much for joining us today, Stuart. As always, it's a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Make sure you like and subscribe, and to learn more about anything discussed, please click the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and together we are shaping science.